Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Stormworks, and we're back. We're not in the mission editor. We are in the vehicle editor. We're in the mission editor. That's why the lighting's so weird. So that'll change, but it's here, guys. Finally, the challenge video. I'm sorry. I know it's taken a while. Life's been really, really crazy for me, so the upload schedule is just going to be crazy too. But yeah, these are all of the vehicle submissions we had for the flying carrier. This is almost every single one of them. So I did get something a little bit wrong in this clip. That big white thing in the background, not a submission, but it does work with the carrier. We'll get into that later. But yeah, these are all the vehicles. I kind of got them sorted out right now, and we're going to kind of look at them that way too. So let me clean some of this up. You guys do not want to see this game in 4 frames per second, I'm sure. So we'll clean this up, and we'll get into our first vehicles. So here are the non-vehicle vehicles, we'll call them, and I'm getting very, very low TPS because of that one on the end there. So let's get rid of that real quick. I'm just going to delete that guy. We're not going to really show that one off. I did test it. It does work, kind of. It's just a giant cluster bomb, so we'll look at it right there. But yeah, that's pretty much all you guys need to see. So these are the rest of the non-vehicle vehicles. So these are all kind of like attachments for the flying aircraft carrier, but they're not like aircraft. You know what I mean? So in the boat for some reason. I don't know why there's a boat, but there's a boat. It looks nice, you know? It does look nice. I'll give them that. So let me just hop up here. We're not going to get into too much depth with these guys. I'm not going to go over all of them in detail. I'm just going to kind of show them off. There will be a collection that you guys can go ahead and check out. I'll leave a link down below to that. And I'll also have one in the flying carrier once it's posted. But yeah, so this other one, this is just a fuel tank. This is literally just an ISO container fuel tank. So you can just throw it on the roof and you've got extra fuel. Nothing too fancy. You guys have seen that. This one is a kind of fun one. This is like a jetway for the top of the plane, and it's just got the same connector that the top of the plane does. So we'll just go ahead, we'll operate this real quick. As you guys can see, it's just a normal jetway or gangway or whatever you want to call it, and then it's just got a door on the top with some mag hulls and some connectors, so you can dock other aircraft to the top of this. Just a funny little attachment. I do believe the same creator of this one also has one that does fuel too. This is a little SAM turret, as you guys can see. We've got a little SAM turret and a little normal turret. Got a little reticle in here and just a twin autocannon. And then if we go in here, this is just another control for it, the missiles. And the nice thing about these is they do reload, so we'll just go ahead, fire them off real quick. And you guys can see, there they go. So they reload in a pretty interesting way. You have to eject the whole arm, and then it just brings a loaded arm back in. Now, normally it doesn't do that that weird, goofy stuff. Sorry, guys, the physics is low. So it does reload correctly, I promise. It reloaded correctly when we tested it. It's probably just the game not liking the amount of vehicles going on. This next one, we just got a little escape pod. Nothing too fancy about this, just a bunch of survival equipment, nothing crazy, and just a bunch of seats. So there is an escape pod on the aircraft already, but it does not have that many seats, so it is a pretty useful thing. Now this is probably, if I had to pick a favorite of the non-moving vehicles, this one is it. This thing is so ridiculous and so funny, and I don't know, I think it's really cool. It's pretty well done in my mind too. I like the aesthetic of it a lot. It looks very kind of Cold War-y, kind of steampunky too a little bit, which I don't know. I just think it looks really cool and it functions very well. It moves around well. Obviously that arm on the top normally doesn't move because it's connected to the aircraft, but yeah. So you could just put 4 of these on the aircraft and you've got rolling artillery basically. Going to be pretty hard to aim it, but yeah. Yeah, guys, that was all of our non-vehicle vehicle submissions, I guess. So we're going to move on now to the aircraft. So these are all of the other creations, I guess. Well, most of them. There's a couple missing. Oh, my frames. But anyways, over here we have some of the larger ones. We're just going to roll with the laggy frame rate for now. I'm not going to get into too much detail. But yeah, this is a flying school bus. So it's exactly what you think it is. It might be magic. Mrs. Frizzle does work for Industrial Whack. In her free time, she does help us develop weapons. I didn't say that. You didn't hear it from me. But anyways, this is the next creation. We've just got like a little recon jet, and then this is the third creation. So I kind of skipped over that middle one. That middle one is just a normal, just kind of passenger jet. It was also made, I don't want to go into too much detail with these bigger ones. I kind of want you guys, I encourage you to go check them out. These bigger ones are cool. They do work. This one is definitely very, very cool. But the middle one that we kind of skipped over a little bit more is a little bit less detailed, and it's also made by the same person that made the jet gangway, I believe. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me, but I believe. So anyways, that was more of our passenger planes, I guess we'll call them, and now we'll get into more of the fighter jets, the underwing planes. So yeah, there's a really good kind of assortment of a bunch of different stuff, so I'm sure there's a little bit of everything for everybody. But we'll just start down here at the very top with the Mr. Mere Scratch's submission, and this thing is, I don't really even know if this is based off of a real plane, or if this was like concept art, or if this is a real plane, or I don't know, but it's cool. And I encourage you guys to go check that one out. That one flies very well, and it looks really, really cool. This next one also looks pretty cool, and it's definitely in the theming with the Whack Hell paint colors. I did like the concept of this thing is really, really cool. I will say I found it a little hard to fly, and then also like this screen moving thing with the heads up display, it's just, I don't know, it's just too much in my mind. It just feels like too much. And I found it a lot easier to just fly in third person. I got really disoriented because the camera kind of moves. I don't know, maybe I was doing something wrong. But this is an X-Plane, very simple, very very kind of bare bones. You guys should be able to figure that one out pretty easy. And this next one is kind of the opposite. So this one's a lot more complex of a plane, but it is pretty cool. We've got quite a few weapons on this bad boy, and we got our industrial whack heads up display. I'd love to see it. We'll just go ahead and turn this on, and you guys can see that we've got really good visibility in the cockpit, and we've got a couple screens right in front of us. Looks like a weapon select and a map and a radio. And then let's check out what kind of weapons he's got. It looks like a couple of, I don't know, I'm not a missile expert, and you guys are going to make fun of me. But this is the next plane. This is made by one of our mods. This is by Nuclear Atomic, and I'm proud of him. He didn't make a F-14 Tomcat. Normally he makes a lot of those, but this thing looks really, really cool. And Nuclear, I'm gonna take a couple of your missiles. But yeah, this thing's pretty neat. It's got a boatload of weapons on it. It's got these big drop tanks on it too, so you can go pretty far. And the nice thing about this is really it works with the carrier, but this is totally usable, and it's basically just kind of like a full-scale fighter jet that folds up. If you guys wanted to use this for just normal ops, it would be a good plane for that. So you guys can see, pretty impressive. He got a plane that size into the workbench, and we have docked this one plenty of times. This one flies nice, so go check it out. This next one, we've got a very kind of Combat Cub inspired plane, and this one is pretty simple. Does have a huge amount of ammo on it, and that's about it. So not really too much going on with this one. It's like I said, a little bit more simple, but that's all right. I do personally enjoy some simple creations from time to time. This next one is a little different. It's kind of cool. What you will see is this one is compatible for both docking parts. You can fly it and land it on the top of the flying aircraft carrier, or you can connect this to one of the hard points underneath. So good kudos to you on doing that, making it work on both. You guys can see there's a hatch on both sides, and he's got a ton of weapons. He's got 4 missiles, a bunch of rocket pods, a couple radars. So a lot going on with this one. Pretty cool build. Like I said, it works on both sides. So yeah, pretty neat, and pretty just standard. Lots of weapons. Doesn't look like it should be too hard for you guys to figure out how to use that one. It wasn't very hard for us to figure out. It looks like I am getting stuck a little bit. Kind of embarrassing. Can we make the jump? Oh yeah, let's go. And then we have a even more bare bones plane. Now I like this one, but I will say docking to an aircraft carrier without a head or a helmet or a windscreen. That kind of sounds scary. And then we've got this cool monstrosity, and this is based on a real concept plane, I believe. But very cool. I love the styling on this one. It looks very goofy, and the cockpit is very, very tight. But I don't know. There's something about this one I really like. I think it looks cool, and I love. You could definitely tell it was like when we didn't know too much about airplanes and we were just kind of testing stuff out. Anyways, we are on to the next group of aircraft, and we're just going to start down on the end again. We've got this kind of goofy looking plane. It's not goofy in a bad sense. I do think it's really cool. I don't know why the engine's on, but the engine's turning on, so we're just going to kind of walk away from that in case it explodes. But next is we've got this cool little guy. Nice little interior here, just a little bit of space. Should be able to get in and out pretty easy. Now I don't think it has a hard point, so I did notice that. I could be wrong. It could be like in one of the blocks, but I don't know, that I could be wrong. Didn't really get that one to dock. We didn't really try docking like too many of these. I mean, we flew, me and the mods basically flew pretty much all of these, and then we kind of voted on some of the best, and you guys will see those later, and then we'll kind of go from there and see which ones are the unofficial winners. And then the unofficial winners, guys, will get a room on the aircraft carrier. So there's 5 different rooms for the pilots, and they are for the 4 hard points on the bottom and the 1 on the top. Up next here is we've got this very flying squirrel looking plane, and I think it's called like the chin strap or something. And we've got this interior here, so you can see we've got fun little interior. The seat swivels around, and quite a big little dashboard here. Well, big little haha. But anyways, this is a pretty good plane. This one flies very, very nice. Just a kind of unconventional design. It's pretty cool, and I totally understand why it's like that. It's just so you can kind of get in and out of there, which makes you also able to reload it. Up next, we've got this plane, and I forgot who made this one, but this is a very cool one. I like this one a lot. Styling is very on par. I love the open turbine, safety first. And just because you're extra safe, you get a extra safety feature. But yeah, this one's really cool. This one's also flies really, really well. It's just got the basic hook, pretty standard. Should be able to dock it. I personally, I think the hook is the best method, and nobody went with it. But, well, not nobody. A lot of people went with it. But yeah, guys, check this one out when you can. There's seats back here, so when you do get stuck like that, you can see right there. Just click F, and there's a hatch right on the top. You do have to click a button there to open it up. But yeah, pretty cool looking aircraft with that one. This next one starts folded up, and I could be wrong, but I think this aircraft already existed, and then it was just like a overhaul that made it compatible with the carrier, but I could be wrong. I don't know, but this is a very, very cool aircraft. Definitely go check this one out. The wing fold on this guy is just absolutely insane. How much the wings actually do fold. I get folding a little bit, but like they literally go like more than 90 degrees backwards. Like look at them. So the missiles look so funny there when the wings aren't folded, but it's a nice compact package, and it would be even more compact if you remove the missiles. So pretty cool. Definitely check it out. It's a great aircraft, and you just gotta flip a couple of the buttons. There's just a weapons selector here, so it shouldn't be too hard for you guys to control this guy. I don't know. Again, I'm not really great with like missiles and stuff, so I don't really know what he's carrying. Otherwise, I would tell you. But I would assume these are just anti-air missiles. A lot of them kind of look like anti-air missiles. So, but yeah, that's a really, really good one. Definitely very cool. Go check it out. And yeah, that's pretty much, if you guys do want to know, that's how you would select the weapons. Up next here, we've got another fighter jet style plane. And this thing's got enough weapons for a country on it. But yeah, pretty cool. It's got some drop tanks. Don't really have to worry about ground clearance, so I totally get why the drop tanks are down there. And yeah, we'll see if we can get into this bad boy. Not much going on in here. Just a couple switches. Pretty simple aircraft. There's just a couple basic fire switches, so Not really too much reading or learning to do if you want to learn how to find that. And uh-oh, he spilled his ice cream. That is horrible, horrible news. This is the next thing. This is, I could be wrong, but I think this was supposed to be a spaceship style. I don't know. But it does have a really, really crazy interior. You guys got to see the interior of this thing. So you got to crawl through the airlock, and that's why I think it was a spaceship. I don't know if it's actually capable of going to space, but I do know, I think that was his plan, but I'm not sure. I didn't try that part of it. But yeah, the interior of this is really cool, especially given how small it was. It's very cool that he like crammed this much room onto the interior, and we've got a nice little swivel seat, bunch of monitors, bunch of switches, bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff going on. Pretty much no wasted space on this creation. So, but it is very fast, and it's got some pretty big cannons on it. So if you need something to just blow things up for fun and nonsensically, I think that this basically flying artillery cannon would be a good option. And then last but not least, we have a F-35. Everybody loves a good F-35, and if you don't, you should. They're pretty cool. But yeah, the F-35, we got that weird thing in the back there for when it spawns. I think it helps it like not crush the landing gear or something. Normally it blows up. I didn't have vehicle damage on, so it's still there. But yeah, pretty standard, pretty good looking. I like it. Paint job looks nice, and I do like that kind of folds out of the top there. Very cool little feature. Another fun little feature, and we'll check this out, is this thing's got an ejectocito. Insert Paul Walker, or not Paul Walker meme, Fast and Furious meme. That's like the best movie in the series, by the way. The rest of them are trash. Hot take, I know. But anyways, this is a pretty cool vehicle. He's got the HUD. We always love to see it. He's got a lot of cool radar, or little Lua screens, and he's got his ejection seat. And it works like a dream. I think it at least does. So definitely super cool. All right. Well, we're going to switch it up now, and we are in my plane, which we didn't show. But I am just going to rendezvous with the carrier here, and we are going to go over some of the winners. So, like I said earlier in the video, there are going to be 5 winners, guys, and I am not one of them, obviously. I just kind of wanted to show you guys this, and that absolutely god-awful attempt at docking, which I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I'm not perfect. So we're going to do a go around. We'll come back and try that again, and then we'll go over some of the winners. So the ones that paid attention, notice that there's a few that we did not cover, and so the plan originally was that we were going to do 4 on the hard point, but the voting just kind of didn't work that way. So there's 3 hard point winners and 2 big boy winners. And we're going to try to do something a little different for this challenge video. So I actually tried to get some like live footage with them in a multiplayer. And that way you guys could hopefully get a lot better shots of all of that. So we're just coming in on the carrier quick. And I'm just going to get this thing docked. And then we'll move on to our first winner. So a little advice when you guys are doing this, and just like landing on a normal carrier, you want to use your meatball, the circle there with the 3 lines. That's going to be our pro grade vector, and we're going to aim right underneath the yellow hardpoint bar. So we're just going to put that thing right there, and then as we get close, we're just going to make sure to stay right on it, and we're not going to slow down. So I know your instincts are to slow down. Don't slow down, especially if you're using the hook method. The hook is there for a reason. You want it to catch you. So the slower you are, there's a longer time for the hook to kind of come loose and stuff. So the other thing too is if you are using the hook method, you need to, as soon as you do get hooked, you need to either throttle up or don't touch the throttle, because if you throttle down, you're gonna not be hooked. But anyways, guys, that was my plane, and that was a brief overview on how to do this. And yeah, we're gonna get over to the first winner now. All right, and for the first one, we have Bacon Kaiju. So the audio is kind of cut out right now. There's just kind of some background footage of me getting all of this hooked up. So his does have auto dock, so we're going to get him put on hardpoint 2. We're going to turn channel 99 on, which is where he receives physics data. And we'll get this hardpoint lowered for him. And then I'm just going to show you a couple other quick features, and then we'll go into just kind of me and him chit-chatting. And I apologize about the background noise, guys. That is on me.
Yeah, so
what channel is that?
Channel 17.
17. And let me turn that on and switch to... So it is on receive. I'm not getting any signal right now, though. Yeah, there it is.
I just turned it on.
Yep, so there we go, guys.
It's fully controllable from inside the aircraft. It is almost full 360 degree. If you're high enough up, it is. Has some good range for zooming in, as well as a laser and camera tracking, so you can track a specific point.
So yeah, guys, essentially what he's talking about there is his airplane has what's called a TARPS pod, and basically he has a laser and camera designating pod on his camera that can relay this footage back to the flying carrier. So that footage that we were getting was not from the carrier, that was from him flying his fighter jet.
You can change it to what you want. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it came out, because really the only downside to it is you can't fly the plane at the same time, and that's purely because that's kind of hard for one person to do.
Yeah. Can't really split the controls up anyway doing that. And yeah, this is kind of the nice thing about us doing multiplayer is I can get you guys some really, really nice footage of the plane. So I know he's pretty far out right now, but we are kind of closing the gap. So as soon as he gets closer, I'll be able to get some better footage. But
overshoot the carrier or anything.
We've just got a little bit of kind of chatter in the background. I'm just going to leave that. I know I'm kind of talking over it. I know it's kind of weird, but I do want you guys to hear that. I just know the noise is kind of so bad that I also don't want you guys to kind of have to listen to that on full volume. But he is coming in, so let's just go check it out. So it's a nice, it's just kind of a nice recon plane.
Turn on dock assist.
And like you said there, it has auto docking.
And this will hold you at a set speed that is slightly higher than the carrier. Default is 2 meters per second faster than the carrier. And then it will also hold you at the same altitude as a carrier, although using the same range up and range down buttons that you use to zoom in and out on the camera pod, you can change the altitude offset so that you can line yourself up properly as far as altitude.
Yeah, so it's a fairly intuitive system overall. If I did have any advice for you guys while flying this one is try to get a little bit closer to the carrier before you turn the auto dock on, because like you said, it is defaulted to 2 meters a second faster. So if you do turn it on and you're like a kilometer out, it's going to take a while to get back. But it is very, very slow and very, very smooth, especially it changes its controls. So once you turn on the docking mode, the controls become a lot kind of more fine, easier to use. But yeah, it's this was our first recording of this, by the way, literally first try. Now we've done testing. I mean, he's tested this aircraft a few times with us on multiplayer servers in the Discord, but yeah, that was first try. So pretty impressive. Definitely go check it out. Now, I will say, guys, don't give him too much crap in the comment section, please. And also, it's supposed to be a recon plane, so kind of keep that in mind. It's not really supposed to be gunslinging. It's supposed to be a recon plane. That's kind of why the camera's there. The TARPS pod is there. That's why you can send data back to the mothership. But I'm just going to hop in this real quick and fly it around, show you guys what this thing's got to offer. I think it's a very, very good looking plane. It's got the very standard kind of 4th, 5th gen fighter look, and I personally love that. So I think it looks pretty good. The cockpit here is pretty simple. I'm just getting our systems kind of all enabled, put together. Well, not put together, but turned on and ready to fly. Bacon did a good job turning everything off. I just want to make sure we are good to go and turn the TARP spot on. There you go. That's what he was broadcasting to us earlier. But yeah, not too bad. Once you flip that, you do lose control. So just kind of keep that in mind. Your WASD goes to the camera. You did explain that earlier. And then there's your dock assist and your altitude hold. You got your canopy right here. We'll close that and get the wings unfolded. And then to disconnect, it is one of the hard point buttons. So you just go ahead and give one of the hard point buttons a whack. I believe it is 6. Yeah, it says 6 right there. So I don't know why I keep just messing around with buttons. I think I was aimlessly trying to find the release, which is my fault. But there we go. So we're off, nice and easy. This thing is very, very smooth. I think it flies very nice personally. But that's my own opinion, and I know some people like it to be a little jerkier, I guess. I don't know. But very smooth, very easy to fly. And we'll just kind of do a flyby real quick, and then we will move on to the next one. So thank you very much, Bacon. This is Bacon's Kaiju's submission. Definitely check this one out, guys. This is one of the winners. And we'll come talk about them at the end in just a few minutes. All right, guys. Well, up next we have Romulus's White Witch. And I really like this one. It's just kind of hilarious seeing 2 aircraft this large just dock midair and then also fly together. But yeah, this thing's really, really cool. It's a massive cargo VTOL. I encourage you guys to check that out. He is likewise, like the others, also a winner. Not really doing this in any particular order, but definitely a very, very cool creation. So definitely go check that one out, guys. It's like I said, just kind of funny. This one was almost impossible to do alone, so this is kind of why I brought in some of the other people to play on multiplayer with me. This made it a lot easier, so thank you for hopping on, Romulus. Also, thank you very much for building this. This thing is very big, and it's cool, and it's fun, and it's goofy, and together these things should be able to transport 10 flying cargo or 10 full cargo containers, and then I believe his has enough power to lift the entire aircraft carrier, which we didn't test that because he had to change something. But yeah, you guys could see here is the footage of him docking. We're at about 500 meters and we're going about 170 knots right now, and that thing is huge. Look at it. And so I probably shouldn't be standing here. This is a really, really dangerous place to stand. So, yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll just guide him in. But you guys can see this thing is very, very, very smooth. He can control this thing pretty easily. And we're just going to kind of wait down here patiently for him to do the thing, you know? I don't really want to be up there, and I don't think that's a necessarily safe place for me to be. But yeah, we'll check him out. This is he overshot a little bit, so we're just coming back, and I think there it is. So he just got to go back now before he disconnects, and oh, there it is. And so he's just got to slide back now, and the hardpoint should automatically grab onto the hardpoint connectors, and then the door should connect. So he's got a little door that extends downward and connects to the dock, so it does actually create a seal, which is very, very cool. But yeah, guys, there it is, all docked up, just sitting pretty on top of the aircraft carrier. And like I said, it is kind of funny to see both of these docked together, just flying together, cruising together. They both should have enough power to keep the other one in the air. Well, mine doesn't really have enough power, or a lot of power, but his has a lot of wing blocks, so it doesn't really take that much to get it into the air. And as you guys can see, this cargo space is absolutely massive. And you guys can see, so the cargo containers, they go sideways, not they don't go lengthwise, and then he has a crane over top. So really, really cool. The cargo bay back here is just enormous. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around how big it is, given this thing is smaller than my aircraft, but has a much bigger cargo bay. Very cool. You guys should definitely see how this folds and unfolds. It's like a 2-part sequence. And the ramp normally should go down, but we're in flight right now, and you can move it manually with the arrow buttons there. So pretty neat how it does that. And then that way he can actually get this to be a sealed space, I believe, too. So that door frame that kind of came down, I think the reason he's doing that is so this is a sealed space. Now, I could be wrong, but given from what I've seen, this thing probably floats, which would also be really, really cool. And we'll kind of just give you guys the generic tour of the rest of the aircraft. So just come up here, a couple seats, nothing too fancy going on up there. There is controls for the overhead crane, and there is also a dead man switch on this system. So he kind of explained a lot of this in the recording, but again, the sound quality is kind of like not really great. So I would rather kind of just talk over it. But basically, it does have a dead man switch, so if you fall out, it will go back. And I don't know, this thing is loaded with features. Definitely check it out. It's very capable. You can do a lot of cool different things with it. Me and him played around with this a little bit, not in this video, but kind of like a little while back when he first showed me it, and this thing is a very, very neat creation. So I encourage you guys to check this one out. Thank you, Romulus, for making the big old White Witch, and I think that this is a very, very fun combo to mess around with if your PC can handle it. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little like PC melting, but we didn't have any crashes. I actually didn't have any crashes recording all of these all of these videos. So if you are worried about that, I know I'm on a newer computer, but should be good. And I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of all of the stuff in this cockpit. You guys can see there's a lot of stuff. I'm not the guy that's going to explain it to you. You can read it in the description or just kind of figure it out. But it's very cool, very capable, lots of fancy features, and it's got this really cool ceiling dock ring. And up next, we've got this VTOL by Elite Magnus X, I believe is his name. And I think this thing's called like the Orca tilt jet or something like that. But it is a tilt jet. Very, very, very cool looking creation. I love the looks of this thing. Now, I will say, probably not, out of all of the ones we're going to see today, probably not the easiest to dock. But that it is just using the hook and jets, and that's hard in itself. So manual controls, a hook and a jet, I give you props. So did overshoot on that first attempt, but that's all right. This takes practice, guys. It's kind of like flying or landing on it like a carrier deck. It's very hard unless you do it regularly, and then it looks easy. And then you guys even saw, like in the beginning of the video, or well, not beginning, but when I was flying my own aircraft, I messed up myself. So it's not too hard to go around. It's easy to just do it again, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. But this thing is really, really neat. It looks really, really cool. It's just probably from like a pure design standpoint, probably not the greatest design to dock to an aircraft carrier, but also it's super cool because it is VTOL, so you could dock it to an aircraft carrier, but it is VTOL, so there is that going for it. And I think not a lot of the submissions can do that, and when I say not a lot, I think this might be one of the only ones. So really, really cool build, and like I said, it looks fantastic. I really do think it looks really, really good. So we'll kind of check these out on the ground, but for now I've just got this nice little footage of him coming into the carrier, and hopefully we'll catch the hook this time. So like I said before, the kind of tricky thing about the hook is matching the speed, but then also once you get closer to knowing to like speed up once the hook does catch. And that's like really the tricky part. And then that's half the battle. Once you get hooked, then you have to make sure that the connector actually connects, because a lot of times just because you hook it doesn't mean the connector connected. But I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling right now. Magnus requested that he not be in the video, so we're just not going to share any of the communications. But I promise you, he doesn't bite. He's a pretty cool guy, and he makes some pretty cool stuff. So give him some love in the Steam workshop. Should be in the collection just like the rest of them, and you guys should see his name in one of the bedrooms once this thing is done. So looks like there is a little bit of a struggle going on right now, but that's all right. We hopefully will prevail. We will get through this together. But he should be. It should connect right there. I think he said he had to like disconnect it or lower the hook or something. I don't know. But I think that's as close as it's gonna get, if any. But I do promise you, we do get it. I think we just kind of struggled here a second, and the risk to lower the hook to get the connector was slowly being weighed while sitting here stuck on the hook. So that is one thing. If you guys do use this, you need to lower the hook in order to connect to the connector. But when he lowered it, it really wasn't like an issue. I don't know. It worked correctly. Like you guys can see, it kind of just snapped right into place there. And then and then I can go ahead and pull them up manually. But yeah, that was the RV-12 Orca from Magnus. So thank you very much, Magnus. Super cool creation, and we are gonna get on to the next one. All right, so I will kind of show Magnus's and the rest of them off a little bit later in the episode. So we're just gonna kind of cruise through these, but we've got some sick shots of the TIE bomber. Yep, guys, that's right. The Empire has joined industrial whack, and we are coming to a mining zone near you. But yeah, here's Mobius and his TIE bomber. I always got to have one Star Wars compatible vehicle with my creations. It seems like, but always happy to have them. And we've got some really awesome shots of this thing coming in. And this thing, I wish you guys could hear the game sound right now. Oh my God, this thing sounds nuts. But definitely a very cool creation. This clip is a little bit shorter just because, well, he docked very quickly. So good on you, Mobius. And we'll go ahead and get up here. It is a little tricky to get up here. You got to grab this ladder, but it's not too hard. You just got to grab onto that ladder. And then he's got a bunch of seats everywhere. Now, this is a dropship, so this is really supposed to, be able to deploy a ton of stormtroopers and stuff. So that's why there's a ton of seats. It is a VTOL. It doesn't fly. This thing's also, or just straight. It is also a VTOL, and it's got this really cool like boarding ramp. But yeah, guys, thank you so much, Mobius. I know we kind of cruised through this one. We'll check it out later. I mean, if you guys are a Star Wars fan, just go check out Mobius in general. He's like the Stormworks Star Wars guy. He makes a lot of really cool Star Wars stuff. So definitely go check him out if you are a Star Wars fan. I know we kind of breezed through him flying in because he docked really quick. So we're not going to really do too much messing around. We're just going to see if we can take this off and get some fun shots. Now Mobius is the mastermind behind all of that. So I'm going to have to... The connector isn't like fully done on the top, which is dumb, I know, but I'm gonna have to add a release, like a remote release. But look how well this thing fits on top. It's so funny how good the shape like fits on top of this thing. But yeah, I'm gonna release him real quick, and we'll see this thing launch off the top, just because it's kind of fun to see the TIE bomber launch. But yeah, that is pretty much it. If you are a Star Wars nerd, you'll probably absolutely love that one. He threw my HUD in that, so he gets some brownie points from me. And yeah, I don't know. Always like to see these. So let's go ahead and get this thing launched off of the carrier, and then we'll go ahead and get on to the next creation. Well, there it goes, and I gotta admit, it does look pretty damn cool. Always love to see Star Wars stuff in Stormworks. If you guys can't tell, I like Star Wars. But yeah, very cool. Thank you so much. Anyways, this next creation is by Jack, our mod. And this thing is really cool. Now, Jack wasn't able to get on video for two reasons. He didn't want to seem biased, which is whatever. Totally, actually, I totally get that. And then the other reason is he's kind of like not... He's traveling right now, so he's going and doing his own thing. So I'm going to show you guys it. I'm not going to do a great job at that, but definitely do go check this thing out. It's awesome. It works on both this flying aircraft carrier and my micro carrier, so shout out you, Jack. That's so cool. And it's got auto dock and auto landing for both of those vehicles, so you basically don't really need to fly it. And we're just going to go ahead and launch real quick, get the canopy closed. Probably should have done that before I launched. But yeah, you guys can see this thing handles very well. It's very responsive, nice and touchy, but it does have a really good gyro that kind of just holds you wherever you're going. So you don't really need to trim out or anything like that. And it I don't know. It's just a nice little compact package. Now, he's got a lot of really fun features besides the auto land, auto dock. He's got the weapons on it, obviously, but the left pod there is a targeting pod, a camera pod, and then he also has a radio jammer on the right, which was that other kind of weird pod that he had on the belly of the aircraft. So really cool. This thing's got auto dock. I believe it's on channel 89. I could be wrong. But we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna go see if we can get this thing hooked up to the aircraft carrier. And I gotta admit that this thing is a really good looking plane. Now I don't I don't know. I give Jack crap all the time for the amount of XML, but it does look good. And this thing is so small, guys. Like, this thing is genuinely probably one of the smallest planes we saw today, and also probably one of the most feature loaded. So good on you, man. This thing's really cool. Go show him some love in the Steam Workshop comments. I know he's kind of not around right now, not doing his thing, and I did accidentally not set up the hard points correctly like a dummy, but we're just going to see if this works. I don't have the arm down, which, you know, this is a real possibility. But it did overshoot, so let me try again, and you know, if not, I'll have to lower the arm, but that's totally my doing, and that's just because I'm doing this alone, because I have no friends. So besides all of you lovely folk, actually, but anyways, shout out you guys are cool. I'm gonna see if I can get back into the plane real quick, and I'm not gonna put you guys through this pain. So I just reloaded, and just keeping it real with you guys. But I did want you guys to kind of see me launching it and all that. But I'm just kind of clicking random buttons in the cockpit here. Again, I'm not going to be the best guy to explain everything that's going on in here. There's so much going on in here. But Jack's really good at programming stuff. He's kind of a nerd, and he's German and OCD, so he does it until it works perfectly. And right there would be your example of that. That worked pretty perfectly, and we were coming in very hot, so pretty cool. He's also actually has the ability to lift the dock arm, which not a lot of vehicles got that feature, which is kind of partially my fault, so don't feel bad about it. If you guys want to add it after the fact, it's a Boolean on channel 6 through the hard point, or through the connector, not the hard point. But yeah, pretty easy to get in and out of. The docking is like cheating, and yeah, thank you very much, Jack. As always, good creation. But that is the last winner. So those are our 5 winners. You guys should be able to see bedrooms downstairs for them once the aircraft is complete. All right, guys. Well, we got all of our winners over here, and we're just going to walk around them real quick. So this is the FA-3E by Jack, and just like I took Nuclear's missiles, Jack, I'm taking your missiles too. Those are mine now. They're mine. Wage cuts. Anyways, very cool. This thing looks awesome. It's loaded with features. It's absolutely tiny, and I highly encourage you guys to go check out all of these, all of the aircraft by the winners. They're all really good. This is the RV-12 Orca that we had by Elite Magnus, and I'm going to hop inside this thing just because I know you guys didn't really get to see too much of the interior. So we'll walk around. I'm just going to click some of the doors, and look how awesome this cockpit is, guys. Isn't this just glorious? I don't know. I feel like there's just something so retro and modern about it. I don't know. It just looks super cool in there. But yeah, I think that's just also a really good looking aircraft. All of the winners have really good looking aircraft. So thank you, Magnus, for this. This is a great craft, guys. Go check it out. Go show some love. And up next, we have the RF-119B by Bacon Kaiju. And this is the kind of scout plane that we checked out first. So like I said, I really like this one. And just to keep on with the theming, let me pull this missile out, and you guys can kind of look at it in the air. Pretty good looking missile. I don't know if he made those, but those are also his big old drop tanks. Got the funny windows just to maximize space. And then there's the tarp spot. So the tarp spot is just a camera. And while I'm on that, I mentioned Jax has a camera. There's the camera on his too. My camera now. And then while we're here, the other one over here, that is the jammer pod. So just kind of talking about weapons loadout. Now, I do believe you can throw different weapons onto Bacon's, but I don't think he has like a hardpoint controller or anything. So just be wary that if you are going to throw a different missile on, I think you got to keep it on the same hardpoint. But yeah, pretty good creation of his. A little tricky to get into the cockpit from any angle other than the top, but that's okay. And realistically, the canopy should be open. So, but yeah, really good one. Thank you, Bacon. He scored the highest amongst the voting for all of the mods, so I guess he could be the unofficial winner. But yeah, he got the highest vote. And for those of you wondering, I know Jack is a winner. Jack did not vote on his. we had Mobius was in the chat hanging out while we were doing it, so he actually threw in some votes too. But I don't know, people were not allowed to vote on their own creation, so basically we didn't really count Mobius's votes. We just kind of recorded them for fun, but his vote got to count instead of Jack's for Jack's plane. So that's kind of how all that worked. But yeah, this is Romulus's White Witch. You guys could see this is just absolutely a unit, and I encourage you guys to go check this out on your own. Regardless of my carrier being around or not, this is a really, really cool creation, and definitely could get a lot of missions done with this guy. So check it out. It's loaded with features, and that was kind of that bridge right there, or that crane right there. You drop it down onto the containers, and the wheels are omnidirectional, so you can kind of move it around to wherever it needs to go to connect it to the cargo containers, which is super, super, super neat. And I'm not going to really attempt to go over all the switches here, guys. I'm just going to kind of look at random stuff, and then we'll head over to the TIE Bomber, and we'll close the video out. But all the buttons are kind of organized. They are relatively where you would intuitively think they would be. So it's not super hard to control. It's just there's a lot of buttons going on. So I don't want to be giving you guys bad information or whatnot. But great screens, a lot of Lua. Looks really, really good in the cockpit there. So yeah, and then we're just gonna head over to the beloved TIE Bomber by Mobius. So this thing is got some comically small landing gear in which that is lore accurate. I'm giving Mobius some crap just because it's funny. But anyways, we've got this ramp, and of course we're rocking the Jolly Roger, and we got the machine gun just in case anybody wants to board the plane or the bomber. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much the last winner. So all of these are phenomenal creations. I encourage you all to go check them out. I appreciate every single one of you for submitting an aircraft. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I loved checking them out. I loved seeing what you guys come up with. I'll catch you guys all in the next episode. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.